Okay, so let's look at our first division problem. I have n squared plus 5n minus 50 is going to be divided by n minus 5. Well, the first thing I want to ask myself is, what is my dividend? What am I dividing by? My dividend, what I am dividing, is going to be n squared plus 5n minus 50. That is the answer to the multiplication problem. Okay, so they're starting us off with that. And then what am I dividing by? I am dividing by n minus 5. That is my divisor. That is going to tell me the number of rows I need. Now it's important that you know that you have to have a term for each exponent. So I have a power of 1, and then I'm going to also have to have a row for my constant. So n minus 5 would go here because it's my divisor. What I don't know, what's missing from this multiplication problem, is this set of parentheses where my number of columns are. So these are all question marks, but I can go ahead and start pre-filling in some of my box so that I can use that reverse box method. Well, since this is my number of rows because it's my divisor, I can fill in that n and negative 5 goes here. And then I'm also going to take the first term of my dividend, n squared, and it's going to go in this box, n squared. And that's all I'm going to fill in because I don't want to mess myself up on my division. So now I'm going to switch gears and start thinking multiplication, and I want to think what times n is going to give me n squared, and the answer is n. And now that I have this column box filled in, I know this term, I now can multiply and fill in this box here, and that's going to be negative 5n. Okay, now that I have a column filled, now I'm ready to start another column. So I have negative 5n here, and I know when I combine all these boxes here, however many of them there are, when I combine like terms, I should end up with a positive 5n in my dividend. Well, right now, all I have is a negative 5n, which means I need more n's in these boxes so that I can combine them together to get a positive 5n. Well, my other box that's going to have my like term of n's is going to be the diagonal box. I should be able to combine these boxes to get a positive 5. So now I just have to start thinking about what number plus a negative 5 is going to get me to a positive 5, and that is going to be a positive 10, and it has to be n to make them like terms. So I'm just going to do a check. Is 10 minus 5 5? Yes, it is. So I know I have picked the correct coefficient for my n's. Now I'm going to look at here. I can now fill this box in because I can use my multiplication skills. What times n is going to fill in this box with the product 10n? And the answer is positive 10. And now that I have this column term filled in, now I can use multiplication to fill in the product here, and that is going to be a negative 50. Okay, I now have another column complete, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to check. I should have a constant of negative 50. And if I look in my box, I see that is an exact match, which is telling me that I do not need to add a column, so I am not going to have a remainder. So it's looking for the quotient. My quotient is coming from my column terms. So my quotient is n plus 10. I would have to multiply this factor of n plus 10 times the factor of n minus 5 to get my dividend of n squared plus 5n minus 50. So the answer to this division problem is n plus 10.